Man, it just never ends with these Mushoku Tensei people that I love the anime. I love Mushoku Tensei, but every other day, they just come out and show us how beyond retarded some of them could be. In the most recent Death Note reaction, and you'll see pretty soon why it's in a. Why are we talking about Mushoku Tensei in a Death Note reaction? Well, we made a video. Oh no, Misa is so stupid. This guy. Let's just read the comment first. Mr. Peter Mueller 9480. This guy hasn't even watched Death Note until now. What the? Tourist alert. If you actually watch any video before I start the series of a long-running show like this, what do I say? I spent so much time watching only Battle Shonen, Naruto, One Piece, Bleach over and over again. I missed out on all the classics. And remember, he's the guy saying that he prefers ReZero Mushoku Tensei. LOL. Rent free. Rent free. He hasn't even read either of those, only watched the anime. How could he possibly know what brilliant plot developments are still to follow in one of these stories? Hey, retard! I say I like the ReZero anime over the Mushoku Tensei anime. Why are you inserting your retardation at me saying I like the light novel better? What are you talking about? But okay, here we go. Okay. Before I pop a blood vessel, remember? I'm getting rage baited. That's right. I'm getting rage baited. Remember, we gotta make it fun. Oh, whoa. Calm down. But okay. So where is he coming from though? Where is this dude coming from a video from 10 hours ago? And I click onto this and I look at the comment here, 3 comments. And what did he comment on? The Mushoku Tensei video. Probably pretentious. I don't like Mushoku Tensei, and here's why. This from a year ago almost. And let's just read this comment. And by the way, what do I say in this video? I think I literally do defense for Mushoku Tensei. Probably pretentious talking about how irredeemable Rudy is as a character, that he cannot possibly, acknowledge Mushoku Tensei as like a good anime or something. I'm paraphrasing, my bad if he's not saying that, but he said that he just can't support this shit. He said I say what? I say that there is so much more to Mushoku Tensei than there's Rudy and all the degenerate behavior that Rudy does. And what is it? The weird pedophilic behavior, right? The way that he is so fucking beyond consumed by lust that the behaviors that exhibit is very uncomfortable. Let's see what he says. 100% agree. I think it's really deplorable how many people, when they start talking about Mushoku Tensei, first do their penance by reaffirming how horrible Rudy's action, parentheses, they never say which ones, pedophilia, grooming minors. How about that? How about the weird fucking behavior in which he fucking pervs at his mom, the way that he takes the fucking panties and puts it in a Roxy shrine. I try to make some jokes about it, right? I say it's fucking weird. But that's the point of the story. To show you the absolute worst degenerate human being. Maybe not the absolute worst. I think that as much of a deplorable piece of shit Rudy is before he gets isekai'd, there's probably worse people than that. But hold on. That is the point of the story. The story is to show what happens if this fucking loser, pathetic piece of shit gets a second chance in an isekai world and to see his developments of there. Many people say there are redeeming qualities. Many people say there is actually no redemption story at all. Many people say that Rudy is simply getting away with his degenerate behavior by getting a second chance because this time he looks like a European twink superstar idol rather than a fat ugly bastard. That's for you to decide on your own. But okay, I mean, I call this shit out. And how they condemn him oh so much, only then do they continue to talk about the story in a proper manner. In my opinion, this is ridiculous! Rudy's hypersexuality is part of his trauma, and it is most fundamental part of what the story is about. I literally acknowledge that, by the way. If you actually watch the fucking video and don't get filtered off, this is a 34-minute video. What's the likelihood that this retard actually watched and listened to my talking points? No. Because here's the thing. If he actually watched the videos or even checked out the Mushoku Tensei reactions, they would realize, holy shit, this guy glazes Mushoku Tensei pretty much more than anyone else. But this is the behavior of a tourist. They get clickbaited off of titles and headlines they have no context about, try to misrepresent and jump to conclusions they have no idea about, and now I farm you. I fucking farm you you for money, you dumbass. You cannot and should not remove it. Anyone who preemptively condemns a story before praising it is giving it to the perceived, non-existent pressure to the masses. Mushoku Tensei is a masterpiece, and it is one because it's tackling such controversial topics, not in spite of it. Who are you arguing with? If you actually watch the fucking video, you wouldn't get clickbaited. You would realize that I'm literally fucking saying that Mushoku Tensei is one of the best animes fucking made, and that the main character is so fucking off-putting that I understand why people would condemn it. And then you got this retard coming in, clickbaited off of a year-long video, coming to my fucking Death Note reaction, trying to fucking portray me like this. Like, go fuck yourself. Genuinely, never watch my video ever again. This is the most classic example of a tourist. An NPC tourist who has no individual opinion. They look at headlines, they skim through, they have a bias already in their head, and they're already a professional victim. Mushoku Tensei retards like this are actual professional victims. They're always trying to figure out, how do I get more mad? I woke up today, I hate my life. I'm gonna go online. ReZero, boom. ReZero is always living in their head. And constantly they're just thinking, which ReZero? How am I going to make somebody, you know? How am I going to tie somebody in with my hatred for ReZero? And basically, and then platform and position myself and defend all of Rudy's behavior. Again, dude, I think Mushoku Tensei is an amazing anime. I think that the most difficult part of that for most people to accept is the degenerate behavior that Rudy exhibits from the beginning, which is supposed to be the core theme of the anime, which I acknowledge. Time after time, I go in depth, doing a fucking in-depth analysis, deconstruction of Rudy's mind, of the traumas that he's faced in the real world, and how he ties that into the current experiences in his isekai life, such as the Norn incident, remembering the depression and how even though people come by and they're trying to help you out, simply telling you, hey, stop being depressed, stop being a loser isn't gonna be it. Sometimes all that matters is that you gotta be there for somebody and wait for them to open up. How many times have I gone through that? You think this fucking monkey would ever acknowledge something like that? No, because this is the quintessential YouTube commenter. Single digit IQ. Professional victim. Will walk backwards from this self-victim position that they've already tied in their hands. They literally walk around with a cross telling people, oh, who's gonna fucking crucify me today? It's like, what are you doing? Many people are enjoying this shit, but you always have to bring in ReZero into it. You always have to bring in ReZero and say this, just absolute stupidity, ignorance, all in one together, but it's perfect. Because comments like this, I can just farm for a quick 8-minute video and there's my time. 8 minutes, baby. Mid-rolls are in. I'm gone. Banned, by the way. Get the hell out of here. Ugh.